It's now or never for the Atlanta Hawks, the best home team in the NBA since mid-January, as they return to State Farm Arena for Game 3, trailing Miami, the #1 seed in the East, 2-0. This is the scene outside the arena and has been for about the last 45 minutes to an hour. A suspicious package was discovered outside State Farm Arena near the Dominique Wilkins statue. So on that side of the arena, they have not been allowing fans into the arena for the last 45 minutes or so. There have been fans in the arena. When we came here onto the court about an hour and 15 minutes ago, there were some fans in their seats, but that's it as we welcome you to Courtside, presented by Chime. Dave Pasch, JJ Redick. The players have yet to take the court. We're supposed to tip off at 7:45. We're being told it might be closer to 7:55, 8 o'clock Eastern time at this point, considering the players haven't been out at all to warm up for Game 3. And you hear from the fans that are in the arena the cheers for Trae Young and the Hawks, who take the floor for the first time, trying to get back in the series. Remember, no team has ever in NBA playoff history overcome a 3-0 series deficit. So obviously, this is critical for the Atlanta Hawks and for Trae Young, who has not played well through games 1 and 2. We'll get to that a little bit later. Let's start with the team that is playing well, Miami, JJ. Jimmy Butler, a guy you played with in the playoffs a few years ago, he's been great throughout his career in the postseason. His numbers actually better in the playoffs than the regular season, but what he did in Game 2 might have been his best performance of his career.
Jimmy Butler treated us to a masterful playoff performance in Game 2, showing off his complete skill set. Offensive versatility, scoring the ball in a number of ways, and of course, two-way brilliance on the defensive end. One of the things the Heat have done time and time again is use Trae Young's man as a ball screener on Jimmy Butler. Here he is, turning the corner, getting downhill, easy bucket. Again, just a couple possessions later, using that gather step to create space. Jimmy Butler shooting threes, how about that? Big bucket right there, giving them separation. And of course, we don't talk enough about Jimmy Butler's defense, so let me start the conversation. He's simply one of the best two-way players in the NBA.
You mentioned the threes as well, JJ. 4 of 7 in Game 2 from 3. And look, these numbers in comparison, they're not startling, but think about it. That's 82 career playoff games. In every single category, Jimmy Butler's numbers go up when it matters most in the postseason. With more on the Heat, let's check in now with Monica McNutt.
Thanks, Dave. Well, yes, Jimmy Butler is certainly a threat offensively, and that willingness to score has allowed some of the role players to develop for the Miami Heat. In particular, Max Strus and Gabe Vincent, who shot 50% from the field in Game 2 and combined for 25 points. I had the chance to talk with Max a little bit about playing with such big personalities and well-established veterans. He mentioned Kyle Lowry and Jimmy Butler as someone who said from day one wanted him to be great and wanted to help him succeed. And so Jimmy has not only been a scorer, but he's also been a tremendous leader, guys. And just to add to the uniqueness of the situation that we're dealing with today, that tip was slid partly because guys didn't have the opportunity to warm up. I talked with both teams a little bit, and they were in their locker rooms stretching, studying film, doing their best to stay warm and locked in for this ball game, Dave.
So speaking of that, Monica, let's ask JJ, who, you played 15 years in the NBA. What would this be like for you when you're sitting back in the locker room, you don't know if you're going to get a chance to come out and play at all, and you come out and basically in 15 minutes, you got to lace them up and go in a playoff game?
I'm the wrong guy to ask, Dave, because my routines on game days had routines. Look, there is a peak that you're trying to reach in terms of energy and focus at the tip. And the entire day builds up to that peak. And this takes you out of your rhythm. It's going to require a decent amount of mental toughness to refocus, re-energize, and get that physical energy to get going.
All right, we'll see how it all plays out shortly when we tip off Game 3 from Atlanta. When we come back, we'll dive into what's going on with Trae Young. He's been struggling through Games 1 and 2. He has to be better tonight, or the series might, for all intents and purposes, be over. NBA Courtside, presented by Chime, continues after this.
Let me tell you something about Jimmy Butler. He knows how to win. What a takeover.
Can't have 19 turnovers in the playoff game and expect to win.
Fire. Oh, yeah. It is the Jimmy Butler show. 45 points. A playoff
Courtside on ESPN is presented by Chime.